Welcome to Complexity Made Simple. My name is Paul Allen, and the subject of today's video newsletter, well, we're going to talk about why I'm in COVID 5S heaven. Finally, everyone can see what 5S is really for. And by the way, it's not about cleaning up, because suddenly, now that we've got COVID-19 and everybody wants to put controls in place, suddenly we have 5S and workplace organisation and no one's sweeping the floor. So let's talk about what 5S is really for, because it's a brilliant example. Before we do that, just a reminder, if you like what's in these videos, drink tea and read the paper. You can get it from lulu.com. My videos and more are in this book. It's mostly about the Six Sigma methodology, if that's what you're into. But a lot of what's in the videos is in this book. And if you want some specialist knowledge about design of experiments for the 21st century engineer, please go and buy that directly from lulu.com. And if you do go and buy it, thank you for your support. So let's talk 5S. Oh man, I'm in heaven. Everywhere I go, every shop, every pub, just every workspace has suddenly got workplace organisation nailed perfectly. Think about this. You need to control a process, and this is what 5S is for. It's a control technique. It is not a housekeeping technique. You need to control a process. You need to control strangers who've never been in your shop, pub, restaurant before. Or certainly they've never been in the shop, pub or restaurant and you've wanted to tell them where to walk, how to behave, etc. So now you want them to follow specific rules. Sounds like running a manufacturing system, doesn't it? You want them to follow specific rules. So what have people done? Well, they've turned to 5S. And let's think of what they've done. Let's take shops. Shops are superb. They really are. They've done a great job of doing 5S. Number one, they've cleared out the gangways. So suddenly, the gangways are nice and wide and they're nice and clear. There's no crap sitting in the way anymore where you can't get your shopping trolley past one another. Suddenly, the gangways are lovely and clean and wide. I noticed that some shops, TK Maxx in particular, they've removed a certain amount of stock and opened up the gangways. Well done. So step one, sort the crap and get it out the way. Step two then, they've got organised. And all the things that they've done, visual management is superb. Things that you need at the point of activity. So you walk to the door, the sanitizer, which they want you to use instantly. Where is it? It's at the point of activity. It's right at the door. You can't fail to get the sanitizer if you want to use it. They've often then developed proper roles and responsibilities. So everything's clear and unambiguous. There's someone at the door counting people in. They have a rule. How many people are in the store? Once that number is breached, they stop you and they make you queue. The rules are clear and unambiguous. People's roles and responsibilities are clear and unambiguous. When you get into the store, the one-way system is clear and unambiguous. Those bloody big arrows on the floor, you couldn't wish for a more obvious way of organising the workplace. In some shops, they've gone even further than that, because they've reorganised some of the shelves so that there is only one way to walk through the shop. So it's almost like going to IKEA. Suddenly every shop is like going to IKEA, because there is only one defined way to actually walk through the shelves. And they don't allow, some shops that I've been to, they've actually blocked off the alternative routes of walking. So it's clear and unambiguous, the one-way system's there. They want you to keep a 2 metre distance. Now they could just let you guess, but they don't. They put tape on the floor. They show you what 2 meters looks like, so everyone knows the standard. It is the most beautiful standardization 5S exercise I've ever seen. And so many companies, manufacturing companies, look what the shops have done. They've out 5S'd you, and they've only been at it 5 months because they've learned to use 5S to control the process. Strangers that have never been in the shop before have no choice but to follow the rules. You don't need training. You don't need to have an induction course for 3 days to figure out how to behave in the shop, because the 5S is so clear and unambiguous. It is just brilliant. So any of you out there, any of you that are running manufacturing companies, any of you that are supposedly lean companies, supposedly already doing 5S, walk through your local bloody shop and have a look how brilliant their 5S is, and the fact that it's used to control the process. It is not a housekeeping exercise. And when you see that, that's exactly what you need to do. Some of the best things, simple, clear roles and responsibilities I love. They'll have someone who's the janitor for sanitizing the tables. One of my local restaurants, they've got discs on the table so that if it's a green disc, it says it's sanitized and you can sit down. As you leave the table, you turn the disc over, the sanitizer sees the red disc, they come around, they clean it, turn it green. New customers know that they can sit there. It's just superb. Clear roles and responsibilities, clear signals, clear standards. Every manufacturing company, if you used the COVID 5S system, man alive, you'd make bucket loads of cash. Go and do 5S properly, put the brushes away, and make pots and pots of cash.